Hello, hello, and welcome to Inklings with Irena, the weekly energy show connecting you to your intuitive guidance system. And today I want to talk about how to see with intuition. If we haven't met yet, my name is Irena Miller. I'm an intuitive energy guide, what I call an energy alchemist, and a spiritual life coach. And I have been guiding empaths and visionaries for 2 decades in how to speak this language of intuition. I began the journey with seeing patterns and patterns and symbols and signs through data science. And then I went into the world of yoga, helping people see and feel through their physical bodies and how to move the energy and the stress out and how to recharge. And then I went deeper into the world of energy healing with Reiki and quantum energy and Sekem Sekim, beautiful Egyptian style. And I continue to learn and continue to sharpen the saw in all these complementary studies because what I love to do is bring specific energy recipes to you. And that's what I want to do today when I talk about how to see with intuition. And you might be wondering, this is kind of a funny title. Why is Irena talking about this? Well, it's been coming up lately that my clients are kind of in this holding pattern. It kind of feels like that in-between place, almost like the void where they've been making changes, they've been doing the work, making progress, but they're not quite through to the other side yet. It's kind of like when you're running the marathon and you're still just at 15 miles and maybe you say, oh, why didn't I do a half marathon? I'd be done by now. And you're still feeling it. So what I want to invite you to do is I want to invite you to kind of see the landscape through an intuitive perspective. So rather than kind of looking at the logical and looking at the numbers or looking what's always been known, invite yourself to open up to maybe what's been called the impossible, what Audrey Hepburn would change into the I'm possible. I love that quote. Maybe you've heard that. If you have, let me know in the comments below. So when it comes to the world of intuition, we really are working with an invisible realm. Everything is made up of energy that we can't see, the radio waves moving through the air that provide music if we have the right antenna, the wonderful television waves, or even, we could really go down that route. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. But what I want to share with you is that things are moving around us, even if we can't see it or necessarily feel it all the time. But if we do tune in like that radio antenna and pick up on particular signals, what you're doing is you're tuning into your intuition. And this can be helpful because it gives you extra insight and guidance. Those little inklings, those nudges help course correct when things go awry. It serves as a wonderful reminder to call that friend at just the right moment when they need to hear your voice. Intuition is a game changer because it takes really a 2D experience and it makes it very flavorful and rich and deep. All of a sudden we start to realize there's a lot going on beneath the surface. We don't have to say, I'll believe it when I see it. We don't have to see it with our eyeballs. So talking about this particular energy recipe, I call this a triple S energy recipe for sharpening your intuition, because the first S is all about a suspension of disbelief. The world of energy and intuition really lends itself and will do much better when we kind of playfully go into that world of imagination. When we go into that world of visualization, just like when you see the movies, you suspend disbelief a little bit. You're like, okay, people can fly in Superman or Superwoman, or people can, I don't know why Superman's coming up, Ben Steele, but we suspend disbelief and we go into the movie and we enjoy ourselves. But then we come out with kinds of inspiration and ideas of maybe where we can show up a little bit stronger and more present in our life. So that suspension of disbelief is just saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to be open to the fact that maybe I have angelic beings around me, guardian angels watching out over me, even though I can't see them. I'm going to suspend disbelief right now and just open to that. Or maybe it's spirit guides. Spirit guides are wonderful beings that have lived once upon a time and they love to come back and help and teach. Maybe we're opening up to other realms as well and being willing to connect and say, why not? let me suspend disbelief. What can it hurt? Can you tell we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day? I'm thinking of the leprechauns. And then the next S is to soften. I call it surrender to the known. The older we get, the more we know, right? And the more we know, the more challenging it becomes, because we might look at something and say, I know what I see here. And what I see is a circle. And this circle looks fantastic. But then if we start to zoom in on that circle, we might see that it's pixelated a little bit and it's not quite a perfect circle. We get in more information, so we know more. And when we know more and more and more and more, what ends up happening is we kind of close ourselves down to sources of information that might, how do I want to say it? That open up the doorway to that intuitive side. It's kind of like, oh, I know the sky is blue, so why would I think it's purple? So I want to invite you to kind of enter in with a beginner mindset. So even though you might know certain things or aspects, you've developed a wonderful array of knowledge and information, I invite you to kind of say yes to life, to welcome in experiences like those goosebumps on your arms. And instead of just brushing it off as a coincidence, say, maybe this is a synchronicity. Even though I kind of knew I might bump into my friend at the grocery store, I wasn't 100% sure that she would go there today. Normally she likes to go, let's say at 2 o'clock, but some kind of inkling or nudging prompted you to go. And you say, oh, I'm going to just open to the fact that maybe this was a synchronistic event, that I needed to see my friend in order to lift her spirits or to get important information. So when you soften and you open your heart, then all of a sudden new information can come in that we might have otherwise blocked. So after you have that softening, what I invite you to do is welcome sweet surprises. Now, why I chose this was because when we're speaking intuition, it's wonderful to think of it like you're developing a relationship. It's not something that happens overnight very, for all of us. Some of us, yes, but most of us, it's a journey. We're learning to trust our inklings and not just think, oh, I'm making it up in my head, or that's just me talking to myself, or, oh, of course, I knew that, my friend would be at the grocery store. There was no divine guidance and us bumping into each other. But you start to say, okay, I'm going to welcome in these sweet surprises. I've suspended disbelief, like I don't have to see it to believe it. I'm going to soften what I know, kind of surrender what's known, and open with the beginner mindset, saying there's always something new to learn. And then invite in these sweet surprises. These surprises where you ask, okay, guardian angels, right? Because now we're open to these guardian angels. Say, could you please bring a sign to me that you're with me today? A happy, sweet surprise to lift me on my journey. And then be open to what's coming your way. That's kind of where we get into that soften to what's known or surrender. So I invite you as you go through the day, definitely engage with this dialogue, because when it comes to seeing with intuition, we're not necessarily using our eyeballs. We're not necessarily using the logic that we have in our mind. But what we're doing is we are discovering a whole new pathway. So if you enjoyed this and it's brought up more questions and answers, then definitely click on the link. Let's continue the conversation, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Oh, and hello, Karen. Great to have you. And Mert, wonderful to have you as well. All right, guys, have a fantastic day and lots of love. Bye, guys.